Meet sailing yacht Avanti and her crew, Gerard and Jacqueline. We left Cape Town in December 2021 on our floating home, heading west on an adventure of a lifetime around the world. Welcome to Tonga. Last week we realized that 2 of our 4 batteries are fried and that we'll need to replace them. We're crossing fingers that they will last us till we reach Australia in 2 months' time. For now, we drop anchor in a new bay with new drama.
So we've just dropped anchor in the 3rd anchorage in Tonga, and we made a big boo-boo. We had a fishing line out and we weren't focusing. We were looking for coral bommies, and yeah, we didn't take in the fishing line. When we anchored, we dropped anchor once and I think it was still fine, and then we had to lift anchor because it wasn't grabbing, and we backed up over our own fishing line, so that's into the prop and maybe into the sail drive seal. It swallowed the whole line, so up to the lures, so we're busy untangling that. So luckily there's no wind here and the conditions are quite good, so we can do it. But yeah, it's a struggle to get the line out. Hopefully we get the whole one out and there's no damage. So we managed to get most of the fishing line out of the prop, but
I'm just going to take the anode off, which is basically between the sail drive and the prop, to make sure that there's no more fishing line stuck in there.
if you take the anode off, there's a bit of more space that you can get to the shaft, where the shaft goes into the sail drive or where the prop goes over the shaft. So hopefully there's nothing, but we just want to take the precaution before we motor for a few hours. We've managed to get the anode off. Unfortunately we can't film it because there's only 2, but no parts lost. And we're gonna have a look at the shaft now.
Luckily everything was out of the prop and the sail drive seals were still intact.
We have hundreds of these little fish, I think it's little trevally maybe, that's just feeding next to the boat, eating something on the surface.
With the prop clear, it's time to move anchorage again, and we finally find live coral. So far in Tonga, we've mostly only seen rocky bottom and dead coral, so finding live coral was a great feeling. Many of the small islands in the Vavavu island group are uninhabited, and this small island next to where we anchored was no different, except for a few goats roaming around, who definitely belonged to someone. Look at the size of this shell! Tonga must be the place where we've seen the most whole shells, eh Gara? I mean,
Yeah.
just look at this!
It'd be nice to eat whatever's inside that.
And even the starfish! It's so delicate! You have to stay here, buddy. Exploring the uninhabited islands came to an end fast as another set of bad weather was approaching. Since we've left French Polynesia, it has been mostly rain and strong winds, with the off sunshine days in between. This was not helping our battery problems. Dishes in the dark are no fun. Tonga is best known for its whale season, where you can swim with the humpback whales, if the whales allow you to. They come up here to have their young, and people pay hundreds to thousands of dollars to come and experience the swimming with the gentle giants. The season starts in July, and although it's just opened in our time here, it was too expensive for us. When you have your own boat, the temptation is there to go and find them on your own, but massive fines will be given if they find you swimming with them without a trained professional. They are there to keep you safe and make sure that the new mums don't feel so stressed that she abandons her babies and leave them to drown. Before going back to Naiafu though, we made one more stop at Swallow's Cave. This was definitely our favourite spot in the Vavavu group.
We're just preparing for the passage from Tonga to Fiji, and I had to transfer some diesel from our jerry cans to the keel tank. But one of the jerry cans, and it's actually fuel from all the way from Panama, on Panama City side. There, I saw in the jerry can, because I check the fuel once in a while just to see if it's clean. There was like a residual layer. It almost looked like heavy oil that settled out at the top where the liquid surface is, but also on the bottom of the jerry can. So it's been calm the last few days, really calm. So I've started to put that diesel in the keel tank, but the last bit was really like there was a lot of muck in there, and I just shook the last bit of diesel around in the jerry can, not putting it into the tank, just to try and clean the jerry can. And this is the diesel that came out of the jerry can. So we actually had friends that also bought diesel in Panama City, but lots. They filled their tanks there, and they had to, their engine and their generator, their diesel generator, died just before Galapagos, and they had to actually go into Galapagos to get rid of all that fuel and to buy new fuel. So this was also definitely a bad jerry can, and we haven't used it for that reason for the last 5 months. Just to show you, this is diesel that I pumped out of the keel tank yesterday just to check that it's all still good down there. And yeah, this looks pretty, or a lot better than this brown stuff. So sometimes you can get very bad diesel and you wouldn't even know it because it goes into the tank if you don't take a sample. We also switched off our freezer like maybe a day ago, just to save power, because I've completely disconnected 2 of the batteries because they just self-discharged to like 10.8 volts, so they're definitely stuffed. And the other 2 are also not great, so we're trying to save power, so we will be freezerless going all the way to Fiji until we maybe get new batteries in Fiji.
So our time in Tonga has come to an end, and we're almost on our way to Fiji, which we're really excited about. We're going to take it a bit slower in Fiji. So far we've been moving quite a lot, and it has been moving fast. So we're really excited to go rest a bit or just take it a bit slower in Fiji. But I quickly wanted to say an honest review on Tonga is that we weren't really crazy about it. The caves were amazing, and there was the odd beautiful beach, and we did find one patch of really clear coral. But Gerard hit the nail on the head in explaining that we think we're in a little bit of a French Polynesia hangover, where everything was so perfectly calm and beautiful. Weather was perfect in French Polynesia, and so far Tonga, on the way here being sick, we've had so many troubles since we arrived in Tonga that we didn't enjoy it. But it has a little bit to do with how I think tired we are, and yeah, it's a strange feeling. It's the first place I really felt when we arrived that we should have just gone past, which was a strange feeling. But let's call it the French Polynesian hangover.
Thank you for watching this week. Please remember to give us a like, leave us a comment and subscribe. Thank you to our Patreons. If you would like to join them, there's a link in the description below. Next week we sail to Fiji and hope it will have answers to all our problems. But should we put all our hopes on one country? Find out next week.